Good evening. I'll call to order the Burnsville Economic Development Commission. And first, we'll adopt the agenda for this evening's meeting. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The agenda this evening has been approved. Approve the minutes from our last meeting, July 8th. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the July 8th meeting?
So made.
A second?
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that agenda, or the minutes from the July 8th meeting have been approved. Skip, do we have anything for the open business forum?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay. And so we'll go to our item on the agenda this evening, a review of the land sale for the Cliff and River Ridge land.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The land in question is a parcel that the EDA owns located at Cliff and River Ridge. This picture is a little bit old. This area over here is where the Walmart currently sits, and this is actually a parcel that Walmart has for sale. The parcel is slightly over 4 acres. As you can see from the picture, it's a rather narrow parcel. There is a sewer line that runs approximately right here, and a fiber optic cable that runs approximately right here. So those three things make the parcel rather cumbersome for development. The proposal that is before us tonight is from GHMM LLC, which is the company that Green Horizons has created for the purpose of purchasing this parcel. Green Horizons is a landscaping company currently located in St. Paul. They've been in business for over 30 years. Their offer is $26,600 for the site, which is exactly what the county has the site valued at. The site is peat impacted, and the peat ranges from 4 or 5 feet in depth to about 12 or 13 feet in depth. We've got an estimate from our consulting firm of between $1 million and $2 million to clean up the peat. The reason for the difference in the estimate is whether they're able to use local fill, as in a fill from a project we have right around here, or if they have to import fill from somewhere else. We also have an estimate from a few years ago. There's a retaining wall that will be needed at the back of the parcel. The cost of that retaining wall to put in is close to $500,000. The proposal is a 2-phased development. The first phase will be their corporate offices, parking, and a storage yard for their vehicles and the various product they use in the landscaping business. Phase 2 will be green space for right now, so they'll leave the trees and everything else on Phase 2, and that will be for a future growth for them. That growth more than likely would be in storage capacity, not in building capacity. The purchase price does not constitute a business subsidy to the business due to the fact that it is in excess of 70% of the value of the parcel. So there is no business subsidy, even though the parcel is obviously selling for a fairly small amount. This is a rendition of the building that they are anticipating building. Obviously, it's a nice-looking building. The building will basically sit right here on the corner, so if you're coming along Cliff after getting off of 35W, you're going to see the building. Their parking will be hidden behind the building, and then the storage lot will be fenced and shrubbed and everything else. So basically what you'll see is the shrubbery and the fence as you drive around Cliff. You won't really be seeing the product in there. And then this will remain the green space. Same rendition, just a little blow-up of what the area that they're going to develop initially will look like. The parameters of the proposed sale is that they will close on the sale no later than December 1st of this year. They will begin commencement of Phase 1 by February 28th of next year, and completion date in the contract is December 30th of, that should be 2017, not 2107. And the green space basically will remain green space until such time as they need to do some expansion. The purchase agreement that we have has been drafted by the EDA attorney, and staff would recommend that EDC recommend that the EDA approve the sale. And Mr. Chair, at this time, I would stand for any questions that the Commission has.
Go ahead.
Can you reference better, Skip, where exactly it is? So where in proximity to Walmart?
Right across the street.
Right across, which direction?
Right across River Ridge, so you would be going north on Cliff. So if you recall, you come around the curve, that treed land that you see right there as you come around the curve is the land we're talking about.
The south side of Cliff.
Correct.
On the east side of River Ridge, so yeah, across the street. Yep.
Yeah.
Right by the fire training. Center.
Yes, exactly. If you're all familiar with the Able Training Center, this actually abuts the Able Training Center, which will stay.
Is there any concern about chemicals or chemical storage with being a lawn business?
That is in their purchase agreement, and our Public Works Director would be reviewing all of that, so they would not be storing chemicals on the property.
Okay. Is there anything holding up sale, or is the sale pretty much just waiting on us to approve?
If you recommend approval and EDA approves, the sale should, at this point, should move forward.
Do you know if anyone's tried to buy it in the past at all?
Commissioner, this is the fourth or fifth proposed sale of this piece of property. The latest one, which was about 2 years ago, a phase one on the property had been done, and it showed some debris on the property, and the proposed purchaser wanted to do a phase two, and they had a whole proposal they made to the city that we would pay for the phase two if something was on there and all of this, and we actually brought it back through EDC with a recommendation not to agree to that proposal, and EDC and EDA agreed with that, and then that proposed buyer backed away. Green Horizons actually has done the phase two, and there was nothing to be concerned about.
So that was, because I was around when we addressed it a couple of years ago. Are there any contingencies that might come up here, like there have been in the past? I mean, obviously this specific issue has been addressed this time around, but
There are none that I am aware of, Mr. Chair.
Do we know how many employees are bringing into the city?
I want to say off the top of my head, Commissioner, it's somewhere in the 30 to 50, depending on season.
Okay.
our participation in the regional, where we $25,000 a year, the greater MSP had nothing to do with this, did it?
No,
Okay.
it did not, Mr. Chair.
So I think the city and the council are asking for some guidance as to whether or not they should accept the sale, and do I have a motion that we ought to recommend?
Motion that we recommend the sale of the site.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So as an EDC commission, we recommend that the city accept
Thank you,
this
Mr.
sale
Chair.
and take a serious look at it. Do we have any updates, Cliff? Do we have any updates?
Mr. Chair, I would draw your attention to one item in the STEM Alliance activity report that was in your background. Last month, we met with a new IT professional services company that moved to Burnsville. Interestingly enough, this company, it's a company by the name of 3 Key Logic, has a ribbon cutting and grand opening tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. What was interesting about the visit is they have another facility, their major facility, in another state, and the owner shared with us how much easier it was to conduct business in Minnesota than it is in this other state. And also made some rather positive comments about everyone in Minnesota seems to be more positive towards business than he's experienced in this other state where basically his parent company is located. And the facility here in Burnsville is basically a replica of that facility. We did, based on those comments, we did recommend that Greater MSP take a look at in putting him on one of their Sunday morning shows where they interview business people, and that, to our knowledge, that is in the process and probably actually will take place. And then we did also refer him to the deed business services reps to give him some assistance in the hiring. They're probably going to hire about 20 to 25 engineers in the next year. So I just wanted to bring the commission's attention to that one item, and other than that, unless there's any questions on the STEM update, that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
I just want to ask a quick question. Was he impressed with the TIF financing, with the tax abatement, or was he impressed by the general
They got
environment?
absolutely
Did he
no
get specific at all?
They got absolutely no incentives.
Okay.
He just felt that the atmosphere in Minnesota was much more positive and helpful towards the business community than the state that he has his first facility in.
Excellent. I don't think we have anything else on the agenda this evening, and so I would ask for a motion to adjourn our meeting.
So, man.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that concludes our meeting this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, commissioners.
That's it.